Does anybody know without Googling at first, like how funeral plots work? Like, let's say we bury somebody tomorrow. How long are they guaranteed to be there?
I don't understand the question.
Like, okay, so when you bury
like
somebody,
you meaning like eventually the world's gonna run out of real estate,
right? Like you like if
you don't own the plot, you kind of rent it, and you run out of. I think it is like a limited time that you have.
like they
contracted.
pull up a tombstone and
I don't know what they do.
because they can move like graveyards, right? Like they'll move them around.
I thought that like once you're like buried, like then they take the casket out and then just the what's it called? The
body?
No, the
sack.
The headstone?
The headstone is there.
Wait, you think that when they bury somebody 6 feet under, then they dig them
the
up and they take the
casket
casket out?
Yeah.
What?
No.
What?
That stays there? The wood thing stays there?
Yeah.
How is there room in the earth anymore then for more people to go in there?
See, that's what I'm saying. I think it's all a scam.
Yeah, because I think after
Do you
a while
think like
they move
every
them and get
150
rid of
years there's like a...
Right. It's like, all right, time to... Everyone's probably
their
dead.
whole family must be dead, so let's move on.
That's what I'm saying. So how long are you guaranteed? If we bury somebody today, do you have it for
now
like 50 years?
Now I'm going to be thinking about this a
Damn.
lot.
I bet it's like 75.
Did you just figure out that funerals are cap? I think that's what you just figured out, Rob.
Well, yeah.
They're a racket, like weddings, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's they get you at the worst. They're like, "Oh, you want this box for $5,000?" And you're like, "Yeah, he's dead." Like, you know, bunch of fucking horse shit. It's such a scam. Oh, I hate those people when you have to deal with those people. Like, obviously, like some of them are very nice people and stuff, but when they're like, "No, look at this casket, it's $10,000," and you're like, "Fuck you."
I know.
It's the absolute worst. You guys burn me.
Same.
Just burn
Same.
me.
Same.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't want anyone
Spread
to spend
me.
a fucking dollar on. Clip that. That's one for the soundboard. Please, any.
You got it, bro.
Spread me.
I mean it.
Oh God, that's so funny.
I Googled it if you want to know.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
So it depends on the cemetery. Some of them it's considered yours forever, but some may reclaim the plot if there's no activity for a certain amount of time. The length of that time that defines extended period of time depends on the cemetery, but is usually 50 years or more.
What does activity mean? Like nobody's come
that
to
was
see
my
you?
question.
Yeah, I guess like no visitors.
But how
How
would
do they
know?
track
They
that?
don't clock that.
I don't know. Yeah, you're not buying the land. You're purchasing the right to be buried in the plot, known as an easement.
I think we kind of have to circle back to you thought that they bury people under 6 feet of dirt, and then how shortly after did you think they dug them up and moved them?
I mean, I didn't think about the exact amount of time, but I thought at some point then like they just remove the casket and then there's
What do you think they did with the casket, though?
reused it. I don't know.
What about what's
After
inside
burying
it?
the casket, you think they reused it and charged someone $5,000 for
well,
a
isn't
different
the
casket
person
that a body was
isn't
in?
the body just kind of disintegrated at that point? Like just
It
like
depends how long you're thinking that they dig them up in, and then if there's enough time for the body to disintegrate, that casket is no longer reusable.
right. I don't know. Well, I don't know. What happens? What does the earth eat the casket? Or there's just a bunch of wood and satin?
They probably
and
make it
bones?
out of stuff that like worms and all
Can
these
get
other things
inside?
bugs can eat.
Yeah, because you're not renting the casket, right? Like
You're paying
buying the
$5,000
casket.
for that casket. They're
Yeah.
not like, oh, we dug this up
Oh, well,
2
I
weeks
know,
ago.
but aren't we talking
Crazy.
about it being a racket and cap?
Yeah,
You
but
know?
they can't, like these caskets are like pristine. They can't bury one under 6 feet of dirt for a long period of time and then recharge you for it. They're not re-gifting caskets.
Power wash them.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, James, this
You
is
can
one of
recycle things.
This is one of my favorite things you've said on this pod. You thought that they buried caskets under 6 feet
I mean,
of dirt
I didn't
with a
think,
dead body in it.
You brought this up, and it just got me thinking. This is not like something that I've like thought about often. But
I felt
now
like
it has me.
I felt like you kind of had.
I think
this-
it might have been a passing thought
Mm-hmm.
once. Then I'm like, oh, I just wondered, did they just? Because if you think about it, sometimes plots are very close together,
Yeah.
and how wouldn't the caskets be bumping up against each other? Why is this so
No,
weird?
they bury the caskets with enough room to then not touch the casket
I
next
don't
to
know.
it.
I just feel like some of the rows seem close.
I'm just imagining the logistics of this. Like, like after that's done, they're just like, all right, get her out of here.
Yeah, it's
Throw
like
her away.
like-
It's over now.
I would.
you think it's all for show that they put like 6 feet of dirt on a casket and then they're like, all right, the family's
Maybe.
So you thought when you go to visit someone's funeral, their dead body's not in there anymore.
Like if I go to visit like a funeral plot, like I mean
somebody who
headstone?
died 20 years ago in your
Yeah.
family, you went to visit them, you thought like, oh man, their skeleton bones are on the bottom of a river somewhere.
I never thought about where it went. I just maybe assumed that it wasn't under there anymore.
Wow.
But then what do you think grave robbers are doing?
What are they doing?
Try and put it together.
Why do they grave rob?
Because a lot of people will be buried with like jewelry
Oh.
or this or whatever, or even like shoes. You sell a pair of like nice shoes, even or whatever. They're just stealing.
Right.
And then some people are just insane
Is
and
that
like
a thing?
actually
Like
stealing
people
bodies.
really do grave rob?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I met someone who has done it. Yeah.
Wow. Did
Do
you sleep
know
on
a
his
grave
couch?
robber?
I thought about it.
Yeah, that's how you met.
You slept on a grave robber's
What
couch?
did they get from their?
Oh, you don't want to know.
I do. That's why I'm asking.
Gold teeth.
No, so I went to this guy's place and he had a human skull in a glass case. And I'm like, what is this from?
Hold on. In all seriousness, this was a guy whose house you were sleeping at?
No, but this is a friend of a friend that she took me over to her friend's house. I'm not going to
A
say
girl
any-
did this?
Did you meet her on couchsurfing.com?
No, Hinge.
Wait, a girl
Wow.
who did
Hinge,
this?
kick me back off. I want back out. I want back off, Hinge. They're kicking me off. Meanwhile, they got people with fucking jars with skulls. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, her friend is a guy. So it was a guy's house. And so, yeah, I was like, hey, is this a real skull? And he's like, yeah, it's real. I'm like, where'd you get it? And he's like, well, I took it from an actual grave. And I was like, I didn't say it, but that's illegal.
So
and
he
Hold on. Was this guy funny at all?
No, it's for real.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
did-
asked his
did
girlfriend.
He
That's a
just
funny joke.
dug
He
down
was friends
to
with
get
Chad.
a
Of
skull.
course, he wasn't funny. What did he
He
do?
dug down and opened this up and got a skull. Do grave robbers leave the casket and like the hole, or do they like cover up their shit when they
No,
leave?
it depends on how much they want to cover their trash.
Yeah, I think different
guess.
guys do. Like, if guys are like running a scam where they're doing it all the time, they have to leave no trace. But then if some people get word of like, oh, they buried this guy in a fucking Rolex or whatever,
How do they get word? Word on the street?
because they have an inside guy in the funeral home, and he's like, hey, yeah, I saw the watch.
It's a racket?
It's of course it's all a racket.
Wow.
We're uncovering big funerals are going to be coming after us because we're uncovering a lot this episode.
I need the people's opinions about all
Should
this.
we do like a YMH documentary on the racket of funerals?
Yes.
And really just
I'd be so down.
Well, imagine we could switch the whole world of like, we're not doing this anymore. We
Yeah,
changed the
fuck this.
world and
Yeah.
people aren't burying people
Save
anymore.
your money.
Yeah, just light me on fire
Yeah.
when I'm dead.
Same.
Yeah, I don't care.
Spread me.
You heard her. Spread Yami Lee.